Who's ready for Ask Tony? Let's go! Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. Let me just get comfier, just sat down. Welcome to Ask Tony, episode 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Welcome back, guys. Thank you very much to everyone that's asked me questions. I've got my notes, all those notes there, and there. So it looks like I've written a book. Thank you, I really enjoy making these videos. I'm going to try my best not to ramble on too much. There are a total of 17 questions. I'm not sure if we'll get it done in one video, but we'll see how we go, okay? Yeah, let's get into it. I've got a few props around as well. So I think, yeah, some people have asked me to show stuff from the games room. They're in a closer look, no problem. I think I've got it all within arm's reach kind of thing, okay? So, question number 1. I can't actually find my glasses. I'm pretending I wear glasses. I actually do need glasses. Since I bought my house, I have no idea where they are. So you'll have to bear with me, okay guys? Question number 1, Pazzaman90. Do you think you will... No, sorry. Rewind. Do you think you will get a Nintendo Switch this year? If you asked me a month ago, I would have said yes. I was going to buy the new Zelda, whatever the new Zelda game is. There's like a special edition of that. I was waiting for a nice looking special edition. Giving up hoping or waiting for a Street Fighter 2 one. So they're not going to do that, are they? So it's probably going to be a no because of the Street Fighter 6 collector's edition. That's going to set me back 250 quid. And I'm debating now whether to get the Hori Fight Stick, the Street Fighter 6 special collector's edition of that as well, because they come out, both of them come out on the 2nd of June. Okay, so I don't think so. And if friends of the channel, if you watch my channel, I've recently acquired Xbox One. That is keeping me thoroughly entertained all weekend. I've really had a good weekend of gaming. I'll update you on that next week. So it's a no, I don't think so. Okay. Question number 2, Pazzaman90. Have you pre-ordered the new Hori Fight Stick yet? Oh, I just kind of answered that, didn't I? Not yet. So it's not a no, it's a not yet. I've spoken to my new boss in work, new supervisor. I have to tell a good story of how my supervisor got sacked. He's a naughty boy, but my new supervisor is much better. Probably the best supervisor I've had for years. I've gone years having shit supervisors or team leaders or whatever. I've got a good one. Yeah, so I was having a chat with him, getting back to the question, and I said, any chance of some more hours? I'm really enjoying the job, really am enjoying it, but I'm not sure if there's enough hours. There's enough for me to survive on, to live on, but I'm not sure if there's enough for me to buy all these extra things, okay? So the more hours, or basically all the overtime I do, there might be overtime going on the weekend, but I got to be careful not to do all the overtime and then take a hit mentally, okay? So I got to look after my mental health first. But say I work this weekend, there's another 200 and odd quid. That'll pay for my Hori Fight Stick. So I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I think I will. I got to be honest. I'm thinking as time goes by, I probably will. I'll regret it if I don't, you know. David Hodges. What's your favourite Mortal Kombat game? It's a tie on that one. Okay, it's a tie between Mortal Kombat 2. This is the Sega Master System version. My favourite though is the Mega Drive Mortal Kombat 2. Sorry, I got a dog's hair. I don't know if you can see it there. I can't seem to get it. It's like dangling by there. It's getting on my nerves. Sorry. Yes, either Mortal Kombat 2 or, because that was a big deal when that came out, if you were around, if you're my generation, or Mortal Kombat 11. The gameplay, I enjoy the gameplay of the older Mortal Kombats, but the story of this is the 30th anniversary collector's edition. Back in the day, in my last job, I won Employee of the Month, and I won an Amazon voucher, and this is one of the things I bought. So, thanks, last job. They don't care anyway. Yeah, so I'd say the story of this, mix of the gameplay of this, maybe, and it still holds up. It's still a good fun game, definitely on the Master System. So, it's a tie on those two. Right, David Hodges, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I've written no, but don't know when you're really hungover and you need food to feed your hangover kind of thing. I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was when my brother was a student. One of the boys had eaten one slice of his pizza from the night before and left the rest of it in the kitchen. And I didn't really enjoy it, but I needed to eat it. So I have eaten pineapple on pizza. So this is coming from, I love pizzas. I haven't had one for about a year, mind, if I'm being honest. But it's not for me. But if you're really hungover, and it depends how hungry you are, yeah. There's worse things out there than pineapple on a pizza. So it's a no in my opinion. But if you like pineapple on pizza, more power to you. I'm not trying to piss anyone off, but for me it's a no. I've never ever ordered pineapple on a pizza. Pazaman90. Can you do an unboxing video when you get your Street Fighter 6 Collector's Edition? We need to see Tony's reaction. 100% yes. 1000% yes. Yes, all the way. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna check that my pre-order. I just assume everything is gonna go wrong as part of my mental health. So I got the pre-order literally on my desk, but there, keeping an eye on it. But I'm gonna go in and just make sure. Say, can you double check? Because I've only paid £20. Something's telling me to pre-order something that's £250. And it's only Game you can buy it, pre-order it with Game, this collector's edition. I just want to double check, because I got this feeling I'm going to go in there on the 2nd of June, and they'll say, here it is, and just give me the game. Yeah, you only pre-ordered the game. I just got this terrible feeling, and then I'll have to pay scalper prices then. I think I've seen, believe it or not, on eBay, some people are selling it for £300. It's like, well, just go to Game and pre-order it there. The scalpers are getting on my nerves, like. But to answer your question, 100% yes. I will do a live. Oh yeah, I'll go live. Okay, I will go live. Yeah, that'll be a good video. That will. Question number 6, Pazaman90. Your favourite special / collector's edition you own in your collection. I've got 3 things here. I've written them down. So you've all seen my Neo Geo stick. Oh, the cable. That's got to be one of them. That's a PlayStation 2 Neo Geo fight stick, but it's obviously modified because it's got all the buttons on the PlayStation 2. I'll just put that back up there. That does count. That was in reach. But to know what? The box, when I bought it, it was mint. The box, look at that. Holding it there. Ignore that bit there. It was mint, yeah? But I remember when I bought my Sega Master System, literally the day after, my dog, he was still a puppy at the time, came up into my games room when I was out, and he chewed my Master System controller, the cable, into like 100 pieces. He shredded it, basically. And only recently, I noticed he'd had a little chunk out of my... It's my fault, because I must have left it on the floor, and he'd had a little nibble there, little bugger. But he knows now, he's much more well-behaved, better trained now. So that is definitely one of the favourite things I own. My special collector's editions. My Victrix Pro. This is amazing. This is a collector's edition. This is number 126 of 250. Not of the Victrix Pro, but of this Sagat. Can you see Sagat there? This thing is my pride and joy. I love this stick, you know. Did come in a funky box. You probably can't see the box, it's just over there. And this, out of all the games, this is a special game for me because it's sealed and it'll stay sealed because I've got it's on my PS5 digital version of it on the PS5. So that there is a standout. That's, I don't know, I would sell it at the right price if I'm being honest, because we're in a bit of a recession. Like basically, if someone said, I'll give you a big chunk of change for that to go towards the Street Fighter Fight Stick, I probably would sell it, but it's not for sale. But I'm thinking I'll never sell it. Some of the things in my games room I'm never ever gonna sell, but that would, do you know what I mean? Because I've got it digital. I'd obviously regret it because I don't know how many of them in the world are still sealed, you know. And it's an awesome collection. Pazaman90, what do you like most about your games room? Right then, I got a bit of a list. Okay, I love this chair. This is my Razer chair. Much more comfortable. This is a comfy chair, but if you're gaming, like I gamed yesterday, half my day, did all the housework, went for a jog in the morning, did all the housework, but the rest of the day I was in the same chair, and it's so comfortable. It's my, shout out Chris, it's a gift to the games room, Christmas, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, Lazy Boy chair, really comfortable, love that. My CRT TV, because that was my great grandmother's, rest in peace. My Capcom versus SNK 2 artwork, my Street Fighter 4 artwork as well, because that's my lucky poster. But the thing in my games room, and I'll never sell this, my favourite thing by an absolute mile is my, is my Street Fighter, Chun-Li Street Fighter Alpha limited edition PlayStation 2 Slim. Look at this bad boy. Stunning, isn't it? Shout out Chris. It's one of a kind. My good friend Chris. I have spoke about it before, but he was looking at he's looking at it because it had a problem or something. I can't remember what the fault was, and he goes, "Oh, that's quite an easy fix. I'll have a look at it." And when he gave it back, he looked a bit nervous, and he said, "I hope you don't mind, but I've more than fixed it." And he showed me. I was nearly crying. Do you know what I mean? So this will be the last thing. If I ever have to sell everything in my games room, I know that's unlikely, but this will be the one thing I'll keep forever and ever. That is not for sale. So shout out Chris. I absolutely love that. I love the look of it. And it looks official to me because it's got the Alpha Chun-Li colours. I love the fact that he made it for me as well. So I really do. I've said it before, I absolutely love that. It's in the best home in the world. Retro Red Steve, what's the best bargain you found, Tony buddy? As soon as I read that question, I always go to Red Faction Gorilla. That cost me 20p. You see there? If you can see that. Now, all the games this was in one of those cash generator kind of places, and all the games, they got like CX, they got 50p games, they got £1 games, 150, 2, etc, etc. Well, they start at 50p or 49p or something, but when I saw it, I would have picked it up for 50p. It's an alright game, you know. It'll keep me entertained for an afternoon, but it's not the best game, but it's not the worst game, you know. It's very satisfying with your hammer, just knocking down all these structures and stuff like that, and it tells you what percent you're taking off each time. It's quite addictive, but the shooting aspects, the driving aspects are shit, basically. So it's half a good game, half a crap game. But I'll always remember when I paid for a couple of games, and she just charged me either 49p, I think it was 49 pence she charged me. And I looked at the receipt, and it wasn't a big deal. I paid cash. I said, "Oh, you overcharged me on that game." And she looked at me like that, and she went, "By 29 pence?" And I was like, "Yeah, exactly." And she went, "Yeah, it's 29p." And I was like, "Yeah, it's only 29p, so you can give the 29p back to me." I didn't want to make a big deal. My anxiety was going through the roof, but I was adamant. I wanted this game to be the cheapest game in my collection. Can't get much cheaper other than free. 20 pence for a PS3 game. Yes, please. So that stands out, okay? And the other bargain I had, I think I paid £20 for my PSP, and it was boxed. And the only thing, it came with a European power charger. The shop was, this was in Carmarthen, the shop opposite CEX, another cash generator kind of place. The shop supplied the adapter and everything, and the man boxed, I said boxed, and yeah, I think it was £20 or £29.99, no more than 30 quid, right? Lovely condition. Okay, the screen needs a bit of a wipe. It's not scratched though. And what's in there? Innocent Life. That was the last game I played on my PSP. Obviously, it only comes with me on holiday, so I got a couple of holidays coming up, so these will be coming with me. And he said all you need is a memory card. It hasn't got a memory card, and he said they can be quite pricey. So I bought this basically just to play one game. Okay, that was, and then obviously I've got that one game. Similar story with my Xbox One with Killer Instinct. It was Darkstalkers, the Chaos Tower. I really needed that game in my life. Yeah, so I bought this for that. And it wasn't an expensive game. So on the train on the way home, I bought a couple of things, everything I wanted. And we were looking, pricing up the memory cards. Now Sony has their own memory cards, which can be a little bit more pricey. I'd rather get official when it comes to Sony, but we were looking at cheaper ones. And some of them, like for a 32 gig, were almost as much as I paid for the console. But because I had such a good deal with it, I didn't really mind. And then Chris, I think, was with me. He said, give me a look at that. And we looked, and it did have a memory card in it. It's got an official Sony memory card, and it's a 32 gig. So the guy selling it didn't even look in there. And of course, because he said it hasn't got one, we were like, okay, it hasn't got one. Because we just take his word for it, you know. So he sold it cheap because it was missing this. Can't get back in now. Yeah, but he basically had one in there all along. And it's pretty much similar. I'm not going to put that, try to force that back in there. I'll do that later. Yeah, so I think it was a similar story when I bought my Vita as well. Yeah, so they are my two bargains that come to mind. Retro Red Steve, what has been your favourite ever find whilst out and about? Now, there's three. Now, nothing to do with price, because one of them was 50p, right? But the most excited I've ever been, right, picking games up is these three. One of them was Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer. I think this is 50p in CEX, so it was when I bought it. Yeah, 50p, I got the receipt there. Okay, so 50p. It is CIB. I've been looking for this game for years and years and years, right? And the reason I didn't just order it on CEX is because it's 50 pence for the game, or £1.90 and £1.95 for postage. So I didn't want to pay 4 times as much postage for the 50p game, so I played the waiting game. But just so happens, it took, I'm talking 3 or 4 years looking for it. And when I saw it there, I was like, yes! I think I bought that when last year was when Swansea Comic Con was on. So I went to Comic Con. I wasn't interested in calling into Swansea and going to do my usual lap, CEX and stuff. But I think there was a bit of a wait for the train home. So I called in there and I found it then. So it was a complete surprise. I didn't go in there knowing they had it in stock. It might have even just been traded in like an hour or two earlier. I don't know. So yeah, I was so excited to finally have that in my collection. Another one, Golden Axe The Duel. I have told the story of this. I bought this in Super Tomato in Cardiff, and it must have been within the last year, because I remember saying on my YouTube channel, my next holy grail I want to find is Golden Axe The Duel, but I've never seen it in the wild. I was expecting 2 years, around about 2-3 years to look for it. I think that video went up on the Thursday. I went to Cardiff on the Saturday. I went into Super Tomato. I said hello to the bloke, and he was testing some games on the Saturn, and I was looking in the cabinet, and oh yeah, we're having a look. He's always got good stuff in there. Next thing on the speakers came up, Golden Axe, The Duel. I was like, hello. And basically, I said to the boy, I can't believe you've got that game. He said, I said, I was talking about that. I didn't say I got a YouTube channel. I said I was talking about that the other day, saying that's my number one holy grail I want to pick up. And he goes, I'm really sorry, it's not for sale. He said, it's literally 20 minutes ago, or whatever, it's just been traded in. I'm testing the games. I was like, never mind then. I said, okay, no worries. I was gutted. I thought, okay, it wasn't meant to be. He hadn't priced it up or anything like that. I think he wanted to play it, and you can't blame him. So then I was lucky, and he was having a quiet. I was there pretty much as he opened on that Saturday, and I was having a look around. You get chatting to him. He knows so much about video games. He's the best shopkeeper of all the shops we go to in my radius. He's by far the best with knowledge, good customer service. He's great in there. Okay, so shout out Super Tomato. And then he just went, if you really want it, I'll have a look at a price, I will sell it to you. It seems to be working fine, and it does work fine. I played it quite a bit. Yes, that was meant to be. If I went the day earlier, it wouldn't have been there. And I don't go to this shop. It's kind of on the outskirts of my radius. I go there sometimes once every 3 months, I want to say, probably on average. So that was meant to be. But the one I never thought I'd actually own. I thought I'd go the PS1 route, but if I could choose, I wanted this on the Saturn, and it's Street Fighter the movie, the game. I love it. I absolutely love this game. I got so much nostalgia. I can't remember who. I either borrowed it or I went up to someone's house. They had the PlayStation 1 version, and it was like, finally, the graphics are as good as Mortal Kombat, because obviously they were, rather than being cartoony anime style characters, they were actually the actors, most of the actors from the movie, And when I found that in Retrostash in Port Talbot. Again, his stuff's not online, so every time you go in there, it's a blind buy. And he had it like a stack. He was in a stack. He must have had a load of Saturn games recently traded in. And I was like, oh my God, when I saw it, I said, how much is Street Fighter? I was so excited. I couldn't contain my excitement, But yeah, that was the pickup of the year last year, closely followed by Golden Axe The Duel. Okay. Good question. I did do this one. The Angry Moose. What's your favourite game cover art? Oof, that's a good one. So, I thought I'd forgotten to grab these. I'd say in order, I got 3 for you, okay? Hyper Street Fighter 2, the anniversary edition, with my boy Ryu on the cover. That just speaks to me. I love it. He's slightly pixelated. I'd love to have a full-size frame printout of that. I'm running out of space in my games room, though. That's my 3rd favourite. My 2nd favourite, I love this artwork, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition. Love me some of that with my Chun-Li and my boy Ryu on the cover. But my absolute favourite has to be Capcom vs SNK 2 on the GameCube. I love it. I don't know why they went with Harumaru there, but because he's not a lot of people know who he is. If you're a hardcore SNK gamer, you would know all about him. But I just thought it's quite a bold decision, because he does look cool, doesn't he? He looks cool as F. So that will always be my number one. Maybe the PS2 version, because I've got the actual artwork up on my wall. But yeah, I just love that one. When I read that question, I knew that was going to be my number one pick. Okay, we're doing alright for time. Okay, the Angry Moose. Would you be okay to get a better look at my Millennium Falcon lamp? Of course. I think it was on my games room tour. I must have seen it in the background. I might have mentioned it, but I was trying to keep that video. I don't like my videos going over an hour. Okay, nobody wants to listen to me for over an hour. I must have skimmed over it. So yeah, this was a gift off my mother, I think it was a housewarming gift. And she bought it, right, for obviously it all moves and all that shit, yeah. She bought it for, like, a reading lamp. But, like, the back there, watch how much light it gives off now. That's it. It's more of a showpiece, isn't it? It does look cool. It's more, like I say, it looks cool in my games room. But when I put it in, like, I read them in bed. So I put it on like that and I had it angled down. And I was like, nah, this isn't going to work straight away. But I had no idea how much it costs. But yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't know where she got it from. But yeah, I really, really do like that. So I'll give you a closer look there. That's the side. That was the back. It's stunning, but it's like, nah, it's not a reading lamp. Bless her. Yeah, so I'll put that over there. Hope that was enough. Question number 12. It's a machine's world. What system which you don't have would you love to build a collection with? Now, I've got a bit of a couple of notes here on this one, okay? I did say Game Boy. I've got a lot of nostalgia attached to Game Boy, but I don't know if I'd enjoy playing a Game Boy. We can hardly see it. It'd have to be a modded Game Boy, and some of the prices are very pricey. So I wouldn't say Game Boy. Neo Geo, I'd love to, but it's too expensive, okay? I did think Nintendo Switch, but the thing with that, you need money to collect for all these systems, don't you? And the Nintendo Switch, the games are, I don't know what the average, £25-30, even for the pre-owned stuff, you know, so they're quite expensive. But the winner would be a Sega Dreamcast. I'm going to build a small collection for my Xbox One, but that's going to be, I did say this the other day, that's probably going to be mainly Xbox exclusives. I'm loving the Halo Master Chief Collection. Killer Instinct is outstanding. And I play all the Halo games, the Forza games, and that's probably going to be the majority of it. I'm not going to have like shelves and shelves of Xbox games, but the Sega Dreamcast, games like Virtua Fighter 3, games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel vs. Capcom. There's a lot of amazing games came out on that system. There's a Berserk game on there. I don't think that came out on anything else. Yeah, it definitely, to answer that question, it's a machine's world, the Sega Dreamcast. Question 13, we're doing all right for time. It's a machine's world. Favourite snack or drink whilst gaming? Now, the old Tony, when I'd have a day off work, the old drinking Tony, right, when I was supposed to be saving for a mortgage, so my go-to, right, I go to the off licence, right, I'd buy a milkshake, I drink that as soon as I come out, like a pint of strawberry milk, right, drink it in because there's a bin there. It was lovely. So that would line my stomach, right? I didn't care. It's going to be 11 o'clock in the morning. It didn't matter what time. So it'd be a milkshake. Then it'd be a bottle of wine, white wine, Chardonnay or something like that. Either 4 or 8 cans of probably Stella. A Topic chocolate bar, the most underrated chocolate bar in the world. And that would be me good to go. And then by the time I'm drunk, really wasted, I'd order a takeaway. I'd always order way too much food. That's probably where I've got all my weight from, you know. So I couldn't exercise because I'd be hungover all the time. And while I'm drunk, I'm ordering shit food that makes you feel shit the next day anyway. Like I'm talking like one of the pizzas I used to have in Top Pizza in Gowerton was there was a kebab on a pizza. It's like, that's 2 meals, 2 massive meals, and I'd have the biggest pizza. And 9 times out of 10, if I hadn't passed out, I'd eat the whole bloody thing. I'd wake up in the morning, why did I wouldn't remember. I wouldn't enjoy it because I can't remember enjoying it. But yeah, that's the old Tony. But my go-to now is one treat a week. I have a bottle of Coke. So I don't drink anymore. I don't touch alcohol anymore, okay? So I have a bottle of Coke. I used to have a bottle of Coke every night. So when I cut down from drinking a bottle of wine and lager, or Malibu, litre of Malibu a day. I went to Coke, and that's, can argue, just as bad for you. Then I went to fizzy water, to nothing. But now I have one treat a week, is a bottle of Coke, and nuts. Salted nuts. So I pour some nuts in like a mug, a coffee mug, and while I'm gaming, I'm like using it, like shoveling them in my mouth. So it's much healthier. But that's once a week. This alcohol thing, I'd be doing that 4 times a week probably. If I was working late the next day, 100% I'd be doing that. So financially, I'm saving a fortune, and it's much better for my health, you know. Sometimes I don't have a Coke, do you know what I mean? I'll just have the nuts, but at least every other week I'll have a bottle of Coke. So I know it's not the most healthy thing, but it's a lot better than where I used to be. Okay, how are we looking? 30 minutes. It's a Machine's World. Right, a game you bought with high expectations, but when you played it, were left with shattering disappointment. First one, I did like it at the start, but there wasn't really a story mode. It's Guilty Gear Strive, but I stayed with it for 2 years or a year and a half. It's gone now. I traded it in. Okay, but yeah, I didn't like it. And the thing with Guilty Gear, I played the games. I've been a fan of the franchise since the PlayStation 1 version. And they've got better and better. Every single version they've released has got better. So, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, that was amazing. And Strive, visually, it was one of the best games I've ever seen in my entire life. It really has the wow factor. It's like DNF Duel. It's as good looking as that game. But I just one day I was like, I want to play Guilty Gear. And then I was playing Rev 2 rather than Strive, and I was like, well, I think they give me something like 20 quid in CEX trading. I thought, just get it gone then. Maybe I'll buy it in the future. Maybe they'll add an arcade or a bit more of a story mode or something for a single player fighting game fan like me. It's very heavily focused on the online, so I didn't realise that when I bought it, and I pre-ordered that as well. I was very excited when that came out. So that's one. Another one, Cyberpunk 2077. There's no game. I pre-ordered the steelbook with all the bump. Even got the big collector's edition hardback walkthrough guide. It's all stunning, right? And when you look through it, I can't wait to play this game. Everything looked amazing, and it was broken. And I tried to play it 2 weeks ago. It's not like I was rushing. I give it 4 or 5 hours. This time around, and it's still buggy. It's much better, looks better, plays better, but it was like, it just kept crashing. Well, not crash. It was things, there's a load of things they still need to fix, and it is meant to be a AAA game, so get it gone. The reason I've kept this is I might get it for I'm talking 3-4 years time, when it goes down to £2 or something, and it might even be more fixed. So that's what I'm waiting for, and I'll have a nice collector's edition. I haven't 100% given up on that. And a retro one, believe it or not, is Sonic 2 on the Master System. Sonic 1 is much better, and Sonic Chaos is much better than this as well. I don't know, the thing is, back then, when you're a pre-teen gaming, when you got a new game, everything's amazing, it's exciting. You play the game, you might not even get off level 1 for a week. Do you know what I mean? There was no walkthroughs or anything like that, but it was just, I know you've got Tails in it. I didn't like the paragliding thing, whatever that was supposed to be. I don't know, maybe I need to play it again, but I remember thinking, I went up my mate's house, he had it for Christmas, he was excited, I was like, should we play something else? So Sonic 2, I wouldn't say shattering disappointment, but looking back, I was like, nah, it wasn't that good, Tony, do you know what I mean? But hey ho, hope that answers your question. Where were we? Question 15. It's a Machine's World. Favourite fighting game made you convert a certain system just to play that game? Killer Instinct on the Xbox One. I'd done it last weekend. So that console is my Killer Instinct console. It's just a very nice bonus that Halo is on there as well. I'm really enjoying Halo, I gotta be honest. I smashed the first campaign. I'm over halfway through Halo 3, so I'm playing them in order probably. My favourite. Probably do Reach next, you know. Sega Saturn as well. The reason I wanted to get into the Saturn, if you look at my collection, 80-90% of the games I got are all fighting games. I got the Daytona and the Sega Rally. I think that's the only two games I've got. Yeah, they're the only two games I've got that aren't fighting games. So that's the reason I wanted to go there, because there's so many good fighting games on that system. And PSP, the reason I bought the PSP was for this game. Darkstalkers Chronicles, The Chaos Tower. This game's fan-effing-tastic. And when I bought it, it wasn't expensive. It was less than £10. I want to say it was £6 or £8. And the reason we went to Carmarthen was to buy this game. Because they were, at the time, it was quite rare. But I'm starting to see it in quite a few of the CXs we go to. You can probably definitely order it. No trouble at all on the CX website. And then I thought I'd have a look for a PSP, and it just so happens that day I went opposite and they had one there boxed for, I think it was $29.99, my memory, or less than 30 quid. We'll call it 30, less than 30. So that is why I bought a PSP, but obviously there's a lot of fantastic games out on that system. Hope that answers your question. Question 16, we're flying through these now. Yeah, I'll definitely do this in an hour. Question 16, Ricky Jones. If money was no object and you wanted to design your own console, what would it run? E.g. cartridge, cassette, floppy disk, CD, digital only, etc. And what would I call it? Right. Gosh, there's a lot of notes on this question. This is a really, shout out Ricky, really good question this is. I was debating whether to do a video on it, but I chucked it in here as well, okay? So the name, I can tell I really thought about it, right? The name is going to be Anders. Yeah, it's just going to be like Sony Anders. But if I win big hundreds of millions, right? Then this is what I would do basically. It'd be called the Anders, and that's the Greek word for warrior. I did do Greek word for samurai. Nothing sounded cool, but I like Anders. Yeah, can I have the Anders with Street Fighter 9, please? Yeah, so it's going to be called the Anders, warrior in Greek. It would come with, instead of control pads, it would come with a mid-range arcade sticks, like the Hori Rap 4. So, it wouldn't be like a Victrix Pro or the Hayabusa, kind more mid-level. So they're about... Some of them are collectible now, though. I think brand new, they're at $79.99 each. So that kind of fight stick, an entry level or high entry level, I'd call it. Yes, or mid level. So two of those sticks, okay. And the easy answer, right? It'd run everything. My first, was it a Retrobit or something? Retro 5? There's a console you can buy that does Super Nintendo, Mega Drive. It does quite a load of things, but I thought, okay, it'll run all CD-based games, so PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Xbox 360, Xbox One, etc., right? But that's too easy. So I thought about it even more, right? It'd be cartridge-based, right? There's nothing wrong with the 16-bit cartridges. Look at Neo Geo, for example. But... how good could it be if we went back to cartridges? The games might be more expensive, but like Ricky said, if money was no object, it might cost you £100 a game, £200, whatever. So it might be bigger cartridges. But I remember one of the biggest improvements in my gaming life as a kid was when I went from the Commodore 64, which was cassettes. I can't grab one, which was cassettes. You're talking minutes and minutes to load. And then sometimes minutes between each level as well, or sometimes minutes after you died and shit like that. And it'd crash, quite common for games to crash as well. So a lot of time wasted. So then we went to cartridges. So we had the Sega Master System. You turn the Master System on, boom, you're in the character select screen, or you're in the home screen, it's instant. excellent. No pause whatsoever. Fluid gameplay. Mwah. What a massive improvement from cassettes to cartridges. I'll never forget, when the PS1 came out, I had the N64. That was my go-to, cartridge based. And one of my mates made the decision, I'm going to go for the Sony. And he had his own flat, so he was 18, I think. So I went up his to play it. And we were playing, I think he had Tekken and a snowboarding game, Cool Borders, or something. I can't remember what it was called. But he definitely had, I think it was Tekken he had. And he put it in, loading. And the console would be, and it'd be spinning. I'm like, what's this? He goes, it's got a load. Like, looking at me stupid. I'm like, what, like the Commodore 64? Oh, it's not that bad. But it was quite a while. It was like, what a step. So we're up here with cartridges. My expectation is what's next. Visually, it looked good. It ran great once you're actually playing. But then it's back down here to the cartridge. As far as I was concerned, it was like the cassettes again. So, and like to play the Master System, I know how it works, okay? So don't shout at me in the comments. But I just want fast gameplay. So my time is precious to me. My favourite thing to do when I'm not in work is spend time with my dogs. My second favourite thing to do is gaming. So to install the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox took hours. It took absolute hours. Obviously, I'm not sitting there, so I did a bit of housework while I was productive with my time. But yeah, it'd be a cartridge based with 2 mid-level fight sticks. It probably would be, so if I'm designing it for me, it would probably be, obviously be limitations because it's cartridge. It would be 2D fighting games is my favourite. I don't know if 3D would probably work, or there'd be a lot of shmups on there, and platforming games, like action platforming, like Metal Slug and stuff like that, that kind of game. I think it'd be amazing. That'd keep me satisfied. Anyway, does that answer your question, Ricky Jones? And the last question, wow, we smashed this. It's a Machines World. Right. As I'm a huge fan of Neo Geo, but fortunately don't know enough about them in order to purchase one, is there a good version of Neo Geo game on the systems you would recommend? Now, at first when I read that, I thought he was asking me for advice on what Neo Geo to buy. If that was your question, it'd be the AES, which is the cartridge-based one. But you're talking, there's someone in Neath on my Instagram, right? I've spoken to him loads on Instagram. He lives where I live, that's where I'm from. And he's got a Neo Geo, and he's got a hell of a collection, right? I'm too cheeky. No, I'm not cheeky enough, rather, to ask him, can I come up and play Samurai Showdown or something? He's got all the gear, right? So he's definitely got a lot of money. It's you're talking hundreds of pounds per game. Like, £500, £600, £700 for one game, okay? But that would be my recommendation. But then financially, you could go off the Neo Geo CD route. But as I was saying earlier on, the games take an absolute age to load. So the best way, in my opinion, is either the PS2, okay, or the PS4 would probably be my choice. So with the PS4, you've got the Samurai Showdown collection. You've got Samurai Showdown, the 2019 one. On digital then, you've got the Orochi Saga. They've just announced 2003's coming out. You've got King of Fighters 2002, 2000. Pretty much all the big hitters. Hello, boy. Sorry, my dog. Do you want to come and say hello? Hello. My big dog. Look at the camera. You see what's over here? You're looking. He doesn't understand. He just come up to say hello. The door's open. Oh, kiss. You can kiss. Oh, got a good dog I got. Right, go down. Oh, you're a good boy. Good boy today. We went running yesterday, did we, boy? Very good boy. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, we've always got time for Rossi on my channel. Yeah, so digitally is the cheapest way to go. Like, for example, the Orochi Saga, I think I grabbed it on sale, something like less than 40, it was like £3.29 or something insanely cheap. I was like, buy now, install now. So I've always got those games. Like Garou Mark the Wolves, I've got a physical copy of that in the Neo Geo Big Box collection. That's sealed as well because I've got the digital. That was less than £3. I think I was £2.19. It was insanely cheap. So I would say if you want digital, definitely go the PS4 route. Maybe you can say the Xbox One, but I'm still new Xbox One gamer. Maybe these games are on there. I don't know, okay? But from my experience, definitely go the PS4 route or the PS2 route, okay? So you've got most of the mainstream King of Fighters games, like the Orochi Saga, for example. So that's got 94 to 98, so 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98. There's another version of King of Fighters 98. It's over £100 in CX. That's the only King of Fighters game on the PS2 I don't own, but I still got 98. So if I want to do the story mode and stuff like that, it's a wild story, the Orochi Saga. But basically, it's like the ultimate match. It's a slightly better, improved version of it, but I'm happy with the version that's on there. Another game you won't get on the PS4 digital, not yet anyway, is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. I think this has recently come out, I say recently, in the last couple of years, on the Switch. That might be another route. I don't know enough about it. But this game is fantastic. There's one hell of a cast of characters. It's kind of, not like Smash Brothers, it's King of Fighters style gameplay. But do you know what I mean by the Smash Brothers? With all the Nintendo characters in one game. It's kind of, most of the Neo Geo characters, SNK characters, are all in one fighting game. And it looks absolutely stunning. That's a masterpiece, that is. But if you're more, that's mainly the fighting game. That's my genre that I'm into. But probably one of my favourite collections in my whole games room is SNK Arcade Classics. It says Volume 1. I don't know if they're obviously going to plan to do Volume 2 and stuff. I don't know why they didn't, but it's 16 games. So you have got, like, Art of Fighting's on there. Art of Fighting is also on the PS4. Fatal Fury, King of the Monsters, Metal Slug, Shock Troopers, Magician Lord, King of Fighters 94, did I say that, is on here. Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown. There's a lot of games on there. So if you want the next best thing, in my opinion, I probably would say then the PS2. So you can have the, again, you're spending money. It'll cost you a couple of £100, right, to get a good fight stick. Hold it the right way around. To get the good fight stick, that's as close to the Neo Geo fight stick as you can get on the PS2. And then just buy these collections. That's going up and up and up in price. That is going up as well. I think that's £40. I was looking the other day. I was considering maybe trading it in. They give you fuck all for trading. But it's quite a rare. You don't see it very often. That would be my number one choice. I've got a stack of games. They're all the King of Fighters games, apart from 98, that ever released on the PS2. I've got them in my collection. So 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, Maximum Impact 1, Maximum Impact 2, King of Fighters 11 came out on the PS2. So there's a load of games on that system. Yeah, so I'd say PS2, but then if you want something a bit more modern, a bit easier, so you just got the digital, you haven't got a physical copy. Nothing wrong with having digital only. Not everyone's got space to have these games, you know. So if I had a family, for example, it's just me and my dog. If I had a family, I probably wouldn't have all this, you know. So that's one of my little luxuries I've got, you know. So hope that answers your question. Okay, there we go. That is all the questions. 17 questions in under an hour. If I've missed a question, I'm really, really sorry. I don't think I have. Let me know in the comments if I've missed one. I didn't do it intentionally. I pronounced it perfectly second time. Yeah, I really enjoy these videos. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good week. I'm probably going to upload this today. It is Monday. Hope I'm not going to be late for work. Yeah, have a great week, boys and girls, grannies and aunts. Love you. Bye.